to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kira's show here. Now then, whenever we last left off, Izuki, she had just smashed back into the ring. Now, she was declared the winner because she was at least able to stand up off the ground, while Bakugo, he couldn't move at all. So we'll begin there. Now, Izuki and Bakugo, they're both pulled into Recovery Girls' office or makeshift room for the sports festival, as Recovery Girl is scolding both of them on the fight, but at least congratulating Izuki for actually winning, saying that she's quite the bit of a reckless girl, but due to the circumstances, she understands why she even did that. But one thing. Bakugo, you were able to at least not break your limbs this time, so you have shown improvement. As Bakugo, he would somewhat start laughing and smirking before he does close his eyes for a second, as he passes out for a minute. Now, after he would pass out, some time would pass and everyone would be ready for the award ceremony. Izuki getting first, Bakugo getting second, and I believe it was Todoroki who would get third. Now, with that being said, after all this happened, Wise and Rage, they are talking and they're trying to figure this all out, as Bakugo would walk over. He would just ask her exactly what she's going to do for her internship, and Rage would just turn to him saying that they're not really sure. They might not get any internship requests since of this whole predicament, but they at least showed off raw power, so they might just go to their dad's internship. Or the joint agency in Hosu, since it was under, Endeavor, and her father's name, it is still registered as his agency, after that whole technicality. So it would at least provide good information, or at least be a good place to go. What about you? Well, I hadn't really thought of anywhere, but I might join you. Really? Well, yeah. Besides, I got a little information from, Love and someone else. Love hasn't been... Oh, wait, yeah, never mind. Oh no, what did she tell you? As Baku would walk over, he would just say that Todoroki told him about a little crush she had, which is whenever Rage would immediately somewhat get very shy, kind of throwing him off as she does hide her face in her cowl. Wise, she's blushing and she just asks exactly what did Todoroki say. Now, he would just go on saying that he knows about her trying to set up Momo and Todoroki, but he's been trying, they were trying to figure out a way to get us set up. Us? Really? Well, as Rage would just smack Bakugo on the shoulder, somewhat laughing, saying as she walks away, immediately grabbing Wise by the shoulder, if not by her wrist, taking her with her. As he's trying to figure out exactly what just happened. Did he just get rejected, or... Because that was very confusing. Momo would walk over, saying that was weird. I'm guessing you tried asking her out. Not really. I kinda just pointed out that Todoroki said we'd probably make a good couple. Todoroki? Yeah, about that, as Todoroki would walk up behind her. She would turn around, seeing him, as he would immediately do one thing. Asking her if she would like to go see a movie, or, go on a date before the internships actually happen. Which would kind of throw her off. Now, She would accept this as she actually does, someone get really excited, and these two run off together. Now, Bakugo is left standing there as he's trying to figure this all out. Meanwhile, Izuki, both of these two would immediately head home and begin to meditate. They would be meditating as anger is trying to control herself, someone getting mad and immediately just walking out the door and immediately punching the stump that is in the doorway. Getting mad, she'd immediately walk outside as she does immediately start working out. Why is immediately following her? Now, she's just asking Rage exactly what's wrong, and Rage is just turning around explaining everything, going on a bit of a rant saying that she can't believe that after everything, she got annoyed. She got flustered around that guy. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm not shy, I'm not any of what you are. Actually, you are. That doesn't matter. As Inko would immediately walk out. Asking exactly what's happening, this is one of her wives who just explained the situation. A guy tried to ask her out, but Rage kinda lost it for a second and kinda pulled them away before they can answer. Which would immediately shock Inko. No, she would just ask if it was Todoroki, which she would say no, it was actually Katsuki, the guy she fought in the finals. Really? That young man wants to date you after you knocked out one of his teeth? Which is whenever Rage would immediately somewhat laugh, saying she kinda forgot about that whole part. Now, with that being said, Wisdom would just do one thing as she does put her hand on Rage's shoulder, saying that we are each other, we know what we feel. We know what each other feel, so you can't really lie to me. As she would pull her into a hug. Rage is a bit more confused as she somewhat accepts this. Immediately just bringing her hands up, doing the same. As Wise, she immediately begins to glow. Rage would absorb her as she actually does go into a flash of light, and Izuki would immediately fall onto the ground. As she just shakes off her head. What just happened? Honey, are you okay? No, the last thing I remember is as she would immediately bring her hands up. Huh? Wait. Huh? Wait. What day is it? Honey, you just got done with the sports festivals. You have to go to school next week and actually do the internships. Wait, so that wasn't a dream? No, honey, you actually did split up into. Well, here. As she would immediately hold up a photo, saying that Momo kind of took this. So. Well, I'm at least back now. Now, Hasashi would immediately walk through the door, as he would see Izuki, asking which one is she exactly. Well, you see, Dad, I'm me. Sashi's a bit confused as he would immediately run up giving her a giant hug, asking if she even remembers what happened. She would say yes she does, but she has to go do something else first. Also, are you gonna send out internships to all of us? Well, yes, actually. I even plan to send one out to that Katsuki boy. He's actually quite talented. I do fear that one day, though, he may go a bit overboard with that quirk. Yeah, one for all is quite a bit of annoying. From what he said, he once broke his arm. Yes, he did. All Might told me that he was training him one day, and it just happened. Apparently, that quirk's gotten too strong. Now, with that being said, she would immediately just go to school as she would encounter All Might. All Might would just say that Bakugo is actually training on the school grounds, he's actually taking a jog. In fact, you might be able to catch him if you follow him, or you follow this path. as she would immediately do so. She's flying along the pathway as she would eventually find Bakugo actually doing a sprint. She would immediately just pick him up off the ground and turn him around, as she flies up to him actually kissing him. Bakugo is immediately confused as he actually does put his hands out, blowing himself away from her, as he actually does just ask what was that for. Besides, wait, huh? Wait, there's only one of you. Where's the other one? Well, you see, I got the band back together. Jesus. So you're you again. Yeah, a little bit. Although, I do feel more at peace. So, what? You're not gonna try and do that thing Momo said you used to do? What exactly did she say about me? She said you usually don't try to express yourself. Well, as she would immediately begin stretching, saying that she's a bit better about. She can be a bit better about that. She doesn't feel as burdened anymore. In fact, I think that was a bit of a learning experience for me. It was a learning experience for all of us. You actually did help me out with something. Really? What did I do? As Bakugo would immediately charge his hand up. She would just ask him if he was going to be okay doing that, as he would immediately just flick his fingers, sending out a small shockwave. This would actually surprise her, as she would just say that that was a bit. However, Bakugo would just go on explaining that she kinda did one thing to his mind. She kinda just threw something at him, which kinda made him use his quirk differently. She's immediately thinking back on this and finding Rage's perspective on things. Finding that she went into his head and actually just threw in a memory about her coating herself in darkness, and tried to do it with Bakugo's mind. She'd asked Bakugo to try doing that, as Bakugo would turn on a semi-full cowling, coating his entire arms and upper body and torso with it, saying that so far he's able to try this out. Which is whenever she'd get into his head a bit, if not walk over to him and tap on his head, looking through his mind, giving him a visual guide, which is her just blasting away her darkness and actually covering her body in it, to try out something she thought would be useful. She would immediately pull her hands away as Bakugo just thinks a bit more on this, putting it into his legs and immediately activating a full cowling. Now, after that, Bakugo, he would just challenge her to a race. The winner, they get to pick where we're going to go on a date. Really? Alright, well, if I'm picking, then we're going to a noodle bar. A noodle bar? Really? Why? Oh, come on, I know a place that's got this really good meal. You can get meat, you can get ramen, it's amazing. Not just that, the place actually does the. My dad once saved the place, so we might even be able to eat there for free. Well, I'm not gonna back down on some free food, as he would immediately just take off running. He's running at about 25% of one for all, and she would immediately be in shock, as she gets in a running stance, immediately just launching off and using Black Whip, or using her darkness to form a whip, if not a claw. She's doing so as she's basically using this thing like a stretched out arm, immediately just launching herself forward, as she is running. She is taking a running stance. Now, as this is happening, eventually they would find that Izuki was able to win. The rule never specified how the race was going, so she would have immediately started flying and actually beat Bakugo back to UA. As she would just immediately smack him on the back, saying that it's no big loss. As Bakugo is panting and exhausted, she would immediately pull his head up, or wait for him to at least stand up straight. As she would immediately plant a kiss on his lips, saying that they're gonna go eat now. Or at least get showered first. I'll be fine, I have a change of clothes. As they would immediately leave. I want to say Bakugo would use, because I want to say they would have a gym, because after doing the whole USJ events and stuff like that, and getting thrown into a bunch of different scenarios where your hero costume gets dirty. You'd probably get some ash in your hair, or probably ugh, some other stuff. They would at least have showers in the gym or the locker rooms. Bakugo would have immediately got showered as he would have changed. She would have still been waiting for him as they would have left. Now, after that happened, Izuki and Momo and everyone else would meet up as Momo is immediately in shock to see her. She would immediately run over, tackling her, telling her that it's been a long time. She can't believe she's back. Trust me, neither can I. As Momo's a bit confused and shocked, immediately backing away and pointing that she's actually smiling. Someone, take a picture, now! Oh, come on. I thought I should at least act a bit, well, different, or at least outgoing. Now, afterwards, this is whenever everyone's reading off their internships and finding that they are all going to her dad's, which Todoroki doesn't mind actually. He's always there. He remembers training as a young boy, but just those memories have turned a bit sour. So they would at least continue. Now the internships would go different with that hurt a rib. With everyone just going. Now, after they would have left, Izuki and everyone would arrive at Hasashi's hero agency. Now, a hero would greet them and say that Hasashi is expecting them. As they would see Izuki, immediately just thinking that that can't be his daughter, right? She would immediately turn as she would somewhat smirk, and her face would change for a second. This immediately makes the girl jump out of her seat as her hair turned white for a second and her skin turned red. She also manifested 2 extra eyes, and, well, looked exactly like Trigon, as she would have immediately apologized, saying that Trigon will be on the top floor, in his office. And sorry for not, well, mistaking her for someone else. Now, she would have immediately got back to work as Izuki would just say thank you. Now, heroes at the agency, they are somewhat a bit intimidated of Trigon because they have seen him with white hair before. And he actually did change it after becoming a top hero. Not before, but after. So his agency does remember him being a lot more intimidating and less mellow. So, they would finally arrive as Hasashi would just guide everyone to do certain training. They would do this training along with Hasashi finding out about Momo and Todoroki actually dating, as he would see them during lunch actually talking and enjoying themselves, as they were eating separately from Izuki, and Bakugo. Bakugo and her somewhat actually getting along better, and Trigon immediately taking notice to this. As after lunch, they would have got back to training, but Trigon would have pulled Bakugo aside, immediately asking if he is dating Izuki. Which Bakugo would have just stared up, saying that yes, he is. In fact, she's a really interesting girl, and she's very hot-headed. In fact, I think that might be one of the reasons why I actually do like her. Well, young boy, I do have to say, she does have a fiery temper sometimes. She gets it from her mother and me. But if you can deal with that, I do believe you should be able to deal with anything. Thank you, Mr. Midori. Or just call me Trigon. Thank you, Trigon. As he would have held out his hand, Bakugo actually shaking it with full cowling on. As Hasashi would have appreciated the actual strong grip. Now, with that, they would have begun training. Hasashi actually sparring with Bakugo as Izuki is somewhat meditating. She's just trying to one main focus of her training is trying to actually tone out the sound, or at least to figure out how to keep balance, which she would have done so. Now, she actually doesn't mind the sound, it's actually quite enjoyable. In fact, she kinda just doesn't bother her. She isn't bothered. She'd just be sitting there meditating as she is somewhat trying to read a book, as they would go out on patrol. Now, whenever they do go out on patrol, they would hear about Hisashi mentioning the hero killer and Ida's brother, Ingenium, being injured, so it is his job in the city to try and find the hero killer. In fact, that is why he came here tonight, as eventually they would have heard a scream, and Hisashi would have immediately taken notice of this. Everyone would have taken off running, as Hisashi would immediately watch as Anomu actually does run in, tackling Bakugo to the ground. As Izuki would have immediately taken notice of this, holding out her hand, blasting the Nomu. As Bakugo does kick it off of him, immediately just punching it in the face. Now, Izuki blasted its arm off of Bakugo, threw it off of him. Hisashi would immediately hold out his left hand and immediately just go to throw as much fire at it as possible, as he would have turned his head. He would have actually seen that the Nomus are attacking, and he would have immediately told Izuki to follow them, and to capture the hero killer. He wants to see what this young man can do. She would just say yes, as she would immediately run across the scene of Ida being attacked by Stain. Todoroki would have sent a blast sooner, taking out, not taking out, knocking Stain off guard, as he would have just watched Momo come in, smashing him across the face with a shield. Now, she would have thrown a flashbang as she does try and distract him. Izuki would have ran in, and would watch as Stain immediately tries running at her. He would immediately try to go to slash at her with his sword, as she coated her arms in darkness. Stain, being in shock about this, would immediately try smashing through them, if not just keep slashing with his sword wildly. As she would do one thing. She would just shout Azeroth Matrion Zinthos as she immediately just grabs Stain with telepathy and immediately blasts him backwards. As Stain is captured and restrained in a lot of different cuffs. And chains. Now, after that does happen, Stain, he is trying to get free as his hands and his legs are bound. Izuki also threw a chain around his entire waist and one around his neck, just for good measure, since he has been known to kill heroes. Now, Ida's pissed off as he is saying that they should not have come here. Todoroki telling him to get off the ground. Ida explained that he can't. The hero killer did something to him, and it must have been with his quirk. So, you're saying we shouldn't have been here tonight, but yet we still saved you. Yes, I'm sorry. Dude, come on. As Ida will be helped up by Momo and Todoroki. Now, Meanwhile, over with Bakugo and Hisashi, Hisashi has just thrown them through the building while incinerating another, as he would have done one simple thing. Immediately just stabbing his fingers through one's head, as he would have immediately taken its body, slamming it into another one, taking out the flying Nomu. Bakugo actually accompanying him and fighting off more and more. As he would have gotten a message from Izuki, he would have immediately dodged, socked the Nomu away from him, and immediately looked down at his phone, finding that they got the hero killer. Hisashi would hear that, and he's actually impressed, saying that he knew she could do it, as they would have started taking out the rest of the Nomu. Now, they would have dismantled the Nomu fairly easily and found Izuki just standing there in the alley with the hero killer in chains. Now, the rest of the heroes would arrive as they are watching her, as she's just holding him there, getting him properly arrested and taking away his weapons. The hero killer trying to shout and actually tell everyone that this isn't over, he will be back. In fact, false heroes are ruining the society. He would have tried doing his whole intimidation thing, but his mask and his gear not being on him. I want to say since he's in chains, it doesn't really matter since everyone just sees him as captured and not a threat. So they wouldn't have been recording the event. They would have just been watching on. As a stain wouldn't be recorded and inspire another generation of villains. Some would have been inspired by his message, but not the video that would have been released. So, with that being said, Izuki would have actually gotten credit for taking him down. The newspaper is just saying that, well, the number 2 hero's daughter aided in actually being the main reason they took down the hero killer with no injuries, besides this one man, who I believe was native. But the majority of the team that captured the hero killer did not suffer any losses. So that would have been an actual plus, and a good thing on Izuki's record to at least hold, being the main reason they took him down. Now then, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have an amazing night. And I may actually be doing the 1500 subscriber special tomorrow. My friend, Katsumi, he hit 1.5 within the last week, or a week ago. I am impressed, because I am growing this big too. He's been doing YouTube longer than I have, and he's not even... I'm in shock about how fast I've grown. It's crazy to me because I checked my subscriber count this morning. I believe I was at 180, 170, then I checked it after work, and I was at 1493. So, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and whenever I do release that special, just know that it has taken me a bit more research to do. I've been requested to do this, and I do believe everyone will enjoy it, because, well, I don't want to spoil it, but it's going to be great. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed.